I've just decided to get out of bed and film this video. I thought it might be a nice way to document for anyone else who goes through this because I don't know anyone else personally who's had chemical burns. For the past few months, I have struggled with reacting to first skincare, then I fixed my routine and I'm all good with it now, but now my makeup. And this is the result of a full day of wedding makeup. You can see that it is on both my eyelids, on the side here, cheeks, and then the sides of my face. Generally, I find that near the end of the healing process, when my face is a little bit better, it's actually my eyelids that are the last to heal, but they're also the least noticeable. So my face doesn't always look burnt. And in fact, after about a fortnight of trying to heal a burn like this, it actually becomes like my skin looks really smooth and clean and people compliment it. And it's just that when I wear makeup again, even just for about 4 hours, it gets like this. So last night, by the time I got to the wedding reception, which was the dinner, after the whole ceremony, morning and afternoon wearing makeup already, and then touching up and adding on more makeup because I honestly didn't feel like it was affecting me much, I had to start basically wiping off bits that I felt were getting irritated while I was at the reception. And I am getting increasingly frustrated because I've been to a dermatologist once and he basically said that there was nothing much that he could do and just to keep going with my current routine, which is that when it's really flared up, I have this eczema cream that I had to get prescribed to me, and then I also use the aloe vera plant as well as a gel. I have also been using a vitamin E cream as my normal moisturizer, and that seems to actually help more than anything else. So I do have these products. It's just that so little time wearing makeup takes about a month plus to heal. So I've been struggling with this since October. It's currently mid-January and I am just getting more and more upset because I called the dermatologist back just last week to ask if I could get a patch test done, which is basically just a skin allergy test. And his clinic said that they didn't do it there, but to call his other clinic. And I called them and they were like, he's on holidays right now and I don't even know if he does it here, and I'm gonna just have to take your details and ask him when he gets back. And I was like, how do you not know if you do patch tests or not in your clinic? That is really random. But I don't know how this works. I looked into other dermatologists and they're just really expensive, and I'm not at a time and budget where I can just be spending hundreds of dollars for this because my skin is only truly affected when I wear makeup. So I know on one level this is definitely more like a first world problem, but at the same time, I'm a woman who enjoys putting on and wearing makeup. I like dressing up. I have events to go to. In fact, in literally 6 days, I have a work ball to attend, and I also, before this all happened, was wearing daily makeup, and I genuinely felt very at peace and looked forward to doing that and starting my day off with wearing makeup. So it's something that I personally enjoyed doing. And last year, I actually made a goal for myself to improve on my makeup. So I was doing even more makeup than usual. And it's just strange because I've used some of these products for years or months, and I don't think it's because they're specifically old or expired, but I have been told that sometimes allergies do come out of nowhere and you just have no idea why they happened or like what they're happening from, but they just happen. So I've given away already about half my makeup to my sister because I honestly just can't wear so many products anymore because basically anything irritates my face. So I really can't pinpoint what product. It's not like I can test mascara out, for example, on every single part of my face. It's obviously just for your lashes. So it's just impossible to figure out exactly what is wrong with my skin. And I thought I would start recording this video to document my journey because I know that this has to heal one day. I can't just go my whole life without wearing makeup. I literally cannot imagine that. And I really do want to dress up and just be confident and look nice in photos. So I thought that starting this video might help out with my mental health when it comes to this because it's been stressing me a lot. Like, I don't want to wake up every night after night out and be looking like this and having my face stinging, burning, being really hot and just not feeling great. It really just feels like leather when I touch my skin, which is apparently the word used to describe the feeling of burn victims. So I feel that leathery feel, like these are real burns on my face and I'm getting just so frustrated. And I thought, kind of just like how I documented my period journey and trying to have a more regular cycle, I thought I may as well document this journey as well. So Keep watching if you want to see exactly what happens with my face. I really hope that it heals this year, because this year is a year that I expect to be pretty big in terms of dressing up. Like, I do want to take a lot of photos. I'm anticipating a lot of events to go to, and I really just don't want to start my year off this way. Like, if this kind of thing is still happening halfway through the year, I think I might actually reach a breaking point, because at this point I don't know who to turn to. I don't know who's going to help. If you Google chemical burns, they're just general burns from one product that you tried out, and then you just know to never touch it again, and it heals in a couple weeks. But this is like chemical burns from everything. Like, I fixed the skincare side at least, but then the makeup side started. So it's like, okay, what is actually wrong with my skin? I have no idea. And I'm also frustrated because I don't struggle with any other skin conditions like acne. For me, my face only gets acne when I'm extremely stressed, and I've only ever had that once in my life in a particular job that I didn't like. So I don't have any other condition. And for me to think of the fact that if I didn't have these burns, then my skin would be actually really good and I'd be happy with it, that also frustrates me, because it's like, it's almost there, you know, it's like 90% there, don't have any skin problems, but I have this when I wear makeup. And it's just really annoying. Like, I want to have the freedom to be able to like wear makeup just like any other girl who wants to. And yeah, I just want to document this and see how things go. I have just put on a whole lot of this, just one thin layer, because I have felt it slightly irritate my skin at times, but this time it didn't. And then I just put real aloe vera plant on after. So obviously it looks so messy, the gunk goes into my eyes. Sometimes after I put it on at night, I even wake up with just like dirt in my eyes, like from it solidifying overnight. And it doesn't look pretty. It looks like my skin's peeling, but I promise it's all aloe vera mixed with my moisturizer. So I'm going to keep this on until I need to shower and head out later today. But this is what I'm gonna have to live with doing. Every time I'm at home, I'm going to try my best to just get into a routine of always having the products on my face. This is what it looks like after it starts to dissolve. So it actually becomes patchy. You can see how on this side it's revealing that it's more dotted and in certain patches of area now, at least on my cheeks, because this morning it definitely wasn't like that, but now it's like a cluster of these burns. Don't know if they're going to turn into blisters, because I've read about how chemical burns can turn into them, but I haven't experienced it before. Maybe this time these are blisters that are forming, I don't know, but now that the aloe is fading and absorbing more into my face, this is what it looks like. This is not even 15 minutes after I've finished putting it on. So here is nighttime, a whole day after the wedding. The lighting's a little bit bad, so you can't really see, but it has been so itchy, irritated, and heated up all day today. I just felt so self-conscious, and I basically couldn't even go through a relative's family friend dinner without putting on aloe and cream. So it's getting really irritated. My auntie, who has struggled with skincare chemical burns before, like I did last year, has given me a healing ointment and given me certain steps that she used to heal it. Because she stays home more, it is easier for her to just go around with cream lathered up on her face. She did tell me obviously try and stay indoors, but she knows that I can't as much as she can. So I am going to try my best to always be constantly putting on this moisturizer, almost just like a barrier for my skin. And I have decided also point blank that I am just not going to wear makeup at all anymore until this whole issue is solved. That could be months, and that makes me really sad. I think it's just the result that I didn't want to get to, but unfortunately I am forced to now. I just got back from work. This is what I look like after today. It's really uncomfortable, burning. I feel like I'm also just getting a cold generally. I don't know if it's from the feeling of the burning only, but I have come to a few conclusions actually while I was at work, just thinking about what has happened the past few months with my skin and just talking it through with people. My conclusion at the moment, this is me being my own dermatologist because I'm too poor to see one. Number one, I already had sensitive skin, which I knew, and was reacting to a couple skincare products. Number two, it wasn't that bad. It was just mild compared to what I have right now, but I decided to take a serum from The Ordinary to work in case it just felt uncomfortable throughout the day, and to just drop it onto my face. And I chose this because it was just more compact than bringing a whole moisturizer tub.
And I thought that because I had tried it out for a week, just putting it on twice a day, it'd be fine. But what I didn't do was read the label that you're only meant to put it on twice a day, and it was way too strong for me to be consistently putting on in the span of 5 hours. So by the time it got to 3 p.m. that day in the office, and I felt like I had to use it more and more, I took a look at myself in my phone camera and realized I was so red and raw, just really burnt from it. And that was when I went to the chemist to get the eczema cream. That was when it was on another level. Like, it skyrocketed to when I had to skip makeup for a wedding I went to last year. Even now, when I'm using makeup and it's reacting, it's always the same burn patches where the serum burnt me, not where I was reacting originally with just mild reactions to skincare. So my opinion is that if you think of the burn patches as wounds, then the makeup is not actually the issue, because I've been doing my own patch test on myself the last day or so, and I have not reacted to anything properly yet. My conclusion is that the makeup is reopening the burn wounds, if you will. So I think that it's not the makeup's fault. I don't think it's anything I'm specifically doing right now. I think it's that serum burnt me so deeply a couple months ago that the burns are just still there. And even when they look like they have almost healed, they're technically still there because I can still feel them. And I don't know how skin works. I mean, obviously I know that it like peels every so often, and if you Google it, apparently you shed your face skin every few days, but then why has this skin not healed over? Like, I don't know if it means that the serum just burnt off layers and layers of skin and it's just going to take months to actually build up all the layers that were burnt off. I feel like that's probably the best theory right now with my lack of scientific knowledge about it, but I think that that is the case because I've just been thinking about how I've been using the same makeup for ages and it never affected me, and I feel like it's not the actual makeup. I think it's just that it's almost like reburning the wound again. Like, I'm going back in and I'm just touching it with all of these products with my makeup, but it's not the makeup itself. So I think that the burns are so bad that they have just been going at it for a couple months and they haven't healed yet. So that is my new mission, to essentially try my best to heal it, especially before all of my special events this year come up where I need to wear makeup. Like, I refuse to not wear makeup to my special events. I feel like I've already sacrificed a lot in terms of just like really wanting to wear makeup and not being able to. So I really don't want to prolong it anymore, and I'm just gonna really try my best to heal my skin.
It's the end of day 2 since the wedding, and I literally have to sleep with my moisturizer next to me now because I just constantly feel itchy in different areas. It's like, here's itchy right now, here's itchy the next second. It's crazy. I just feel like I need to constantly be lathering the cream on, but that is what I'm doing for now. I also lay down for the last few hours. I didn't actually sleep, but I just put the fan directly on my face because I usually keep it moving. But I am just trying to basically cool down my face. My mum thinks that it does look better than this morning, but I honestly just feel like it's an up and down thing, like depending on which products I use, because I only use the eczema cream once or twice a day because it just makes my face feels so burnt and red, so I don't really use it too much, especially if I'm gonna go out. But I am gonna try and live like this and keep giving you guys updates. This is the morning of day 3. You can see my eyes are so irritated because last night they were literally burning. Like, they are just too packed with a bunch of cream that's just going inside. So it's literally trying to get rid of the product. Obviously my eyes are getting like annoyed by it, and my skin does look better than yesterday. The only thing is that even if my skin improves, because it does seem to be doing so pretty quickly more than the previous times, I still haven't solved the actual root issue because I obviously know that makeup just reopens this whole burn anyway. So even though it's nice to have less discomfort and to obviously just look a bit nicer, it's not actually solving my issue. So I still don't really know how I'm gonna fix this, because even if my skin clears, even if it looks totally normal in like a week or so, I'm still not going to be able to wear makeup, and it's really stressing me. I think I'm gonna have to try and find it somewhere or another. I'm gonna have to think, do I have to go to the dermatologist again just so that he can look into it again? Or am I gonna find out on my own? I don't know. This eye's really hurting though. You can just see that a lot of product has gone in, but I can't help it because my eyelids are some of the worst spots. So obviously I need to be putting cream on there. I did
give it a break just for this morning.
This is me after doing my general skincare for the day. I know that my skin actually looks nice. You might still be able to see the markings from the eyelids though, which are always the last to heal, but it still feels uncomfortable and itchy. It's just healing a bit faster than the previous times it was this bad, so I'm grateful for that. I'm actually about to head off to the Sunshine Coast for work. Hello, I'm currently in my hotel room. Hot here. I'm in Queensland right now and it's nearer to the equator. But it was kind of good in terms of my auntie saying that my skin should be kept relatively hydrated at all times, like it shouldn't really be left to be dry. So it was good in terms of it's really humid here, like way too humid. I think people are literally sweltering, we're all sweating. I'm someone who doesn't usually sweat easily and I am sweating really easily here. So thank goodness the room has AC, but besides that, everyone is kind of dying, especially because we had to have dinner outside, you have to walk outside to get to places. So it's just really hot here. So it kind of does help in terms of not drying out my skin. I feel like that's good. The next few days I am spending a lot more time in air-conditioned rooms though, so we'll see what happens with that. But this is the second time that I have put this aloe gel on today. I'm so glad I bought it. And I also am carrying my vitamin E cream around. So I actually reapplied even on the plane. I was just like, plane time, up in the air, skin is feeling dry. I mean, like in general, the air is so dry when you're on a plane. So I just thought it was a good time to reapply that too. So I feel like so far, kind of working. I feel like at the moment, it's always the main culprit every time this happens, which is my left eyelid. So that's the one that's always kind of bad and always kind of red. But even now, I know that as a normal person who doesn't know about my condition can't tell. Like I know that. I know it's not bad to the point of like, oh my gosh, you're so burned. It's just like, yeah, I get what you mean, but like I can't really see it, so it must not be that bad. But it feels so bad, you know, like it just doesn't feel that great. And thank goodness I'm working, so I'm obviously distracted. It's not like I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm still really sad that I can't dress up for this Saturday because I 100% would have worn makeup, not even just for this Saturday, but just for like the whole day. Like if it wasn't for this issue starting a few months back, I would have definitely continued to practice my makeup daily. And that just hasn't happened, unfortunately, because of this problem. So of course, it happened in the year that I decided to actually improve on makeup. Like, how ironic. After doing makeup on and off for so many years or just for special events, it just happened to be the year that I wanted to work on it. Hello, I'm back from the Sunshine Coast. It was 4 very tiring work days, but also with a whole lot of fun. And I'm glad I'm back home, but it was really nice to have the mini fridge in my hotel room because I decided to put not just the aloe gel in there, but also my vitamin E cream. And that actually helped a lot. I just felt like my skin was so cooled down and so soothed. I was applying basically up to 5 times every day. And it was so good to have all of the consistent layers of skincare just on my face. So this is my update. It is definitely very smooth and shiny, especially because of the humidity up on the Sunshine Coast. When I touched down yesterday here, it was 40 degrees, but honestly, it was more bearable because it was dry. In the Sunshine Coast, it was maximum 32, but just so humid. Every time you were into a room, even if it had the air conditioning on, you were just sweating like crazy. So I still feel like my pores are sort of permanently affected by it. Like I feel like I'm sweating a lot more than I usually would. Definitely improved over my time in the Sunshine Coast. We'll see if it was just that environment maybe. It's just a lot more tropical there. But I am actually going to start putting not just the gel but also the vitamin E cream in my fridge. And first world problem, but because this one's downstairs, I'm going to have to be going back and forth up and down my stairs in the morning and night times when I do my skincare now. But I think it's worth it. I feel like it really helped to actually cool down my skin properly. So I'm going to keep doing that. Obviously here at home now I have the aloe vera plant as well. So my mom comes in every morning. She's so lovely. She actually does it for me with 2 little pieces she has. I feel like the lack of makeup at the trip actually didn't affect me too much. I guess it kind of helps that the people around my age who I was surrounded by, there was actually only one girl who was my age who I stuck to, and she doesn't actually wear that much makeup. Whereas I feel like if she had worn a lot of makeup and was really into doing it, then I kind of would have felt left out. But because she didn't do that much and kept her makeup really natural and nice, I think that helped me just feel a bit better. And I honestly didn't really think about not wearing makeup for most of the time. If I feel like these burns are 100% healed and then I try and wear makeup and it still resurfaces those burns, then there's something seriously wrong. I feel like I probably will have to return to a dermatologist at that point, because what do you even do when you feel like they're actually healed? Right now, I would say they're about 75% healed, definitely quite a long way to go. So I'm going to see how everything turns out
it has actually been 9 days since I last wore makeup, and the fact that it's already about 75% healed is pretty much a good sign. I feel like it's rising pretty fast.
Hey, I haven't updated in a while, but it's now February and my skin is still really burnt. I feel like especially last night, I felt like my right eyelid was really bad, like just kind of getting a little bit irritated. And I haven't actually been putting my products on my eyes anymore because I was waking up in the morning with literally chunks of it inside my eye and it was turning into sleep and just infecting it. Like I had to put eye drops in my eyes some mornings and it was getting really gross. So I haven't actually put it on my eyes anymore despite it being one of the last patches to really heal. So I can tell that I should probably just start trying to rub it in as best as possible. I am still really stressed about this issue because I am hopefully going to be engaged in the next couple months, and obviously for something like my proposal, I don't want to look back and be like, wow, I was so barefaced, like I could have looked better. And so I am really frustrated, I guess, because it's coming up to a year of my life where I feel like it's going to be really special as a fiance, someone who's planning a wedding and having a bunch of pre-wedding events, like not just the wedding day itself. And so that is kind of annoying to me because I really want to not fear wearing makeup. And I know it just sounds so spoilt and champagne problemy whenever I talk to it about family and friends, but it's the fact that I guess people don't know how bad the burns are. Like I've taken a bunch of photos, but it's just so painful. Like the last time it happened, I honestly was thinking to myself, I really can't wear makeup because the pain isn't even worth it to like make myself feel prettier, which is so sad. I just feel like there's such an injustice in me not being able to do such a typical girl thing, like just to wear makeup and just to feel happy with how I look. I'm going to a photo booth with a few friends tonight, and for example, I can't wear makeup for that. Like I'm just sick of only being able to wear lip products, and it's just like annoying because I want to feel and look my best and I really can't. And for something like a casual photo booth night, okay, that's fine, but like for a wedding that's coming up, for my own wedding that's coming up, for my own wedding events, and for just massive things that I feel like I'm gonna have to do this year, I just feel really sad about it that I can't even tell when this is going to be fixed, because every time I feel like it's almost there, like 97% healed, and now it comes back up again. Like how am I meant to know then? It's so random. Like what if I feel like it's 100% healed in the future and then I do the makeup and then it comes back again? Like that is just ridiculous. And I did get a call back from my dermatologist when he returned from leave, and he was just like, yeah, I don't really know what's happening, so basically just get a patch test at this hospital and I'll give you the name. And I was like, thanks, like that's not that helpful, because I explained to him what I think is wrong, which is basically that the skin barrier has been broken down and weakened to the point where it still hasn't healed in so many months, and makeup is what irritates it and brings it back up. And I told him my theory about that. I told him how it's not like a patch test is going to work. I told him that it was just the serum was way too strong and burnt my skin, and now things like makeup, like the chemicals in it, I guess, especially because a lot of the makeup I use is old and cheap, is just bringing it up again. Also messaged a makeup artist who did my makeup with my skin burns, and the makeup after that day that she did them was actually totally fine. Like it's only my products that make the skin irritated. And I actually messaged her because she knew about my issues, and I was like, hey girl, thanks so much for the makeup. It didn't burn my face at all. I'm just wondering if you have any products that I can use, because like it'd just be so helpful if I have to buy a whole new kit, right? Like at least foundation, which like covers your whole face. And she didn't reply, and that's something that I'm kind of upset about because I kind of knew her before I even got my makeup done from her. So that's a little bit annoying too. No one is being helpful basically. Like the medical world, the makeup artists whose products didn't ruin my face, like neither of them are helpful. And like I can't keep complaining about this to my friends because to an outside viewer it looks like my skin is fine. I know that my skin doesn't have acne, it doesn't have blemishes usually otherwise, like it's all good otherwise. And it's so hard to explain the fact that like, no, I can still feel the burns underneath my skin. Like I can still feel them right now. I can still even slightly see them right now because only I know what my normal skin looks like, and like no one will understand that ever. Like it's just so frustrating. I use 4 different products now, 4 different layers of skincare, and it's still not working. Like it's been half a year since I've had this issue, almost. So we're going on to half a year next month. So it's been 5 months since this issue started. And even before that, I had the little bits of contact dermatitis anyway. So like even before that technically. So I'm frustrated. This is really frustrating. The fact that I can't wear makeup feels so like unfair. It feels so like, oh.
Bit of an update. Sometimes I wake up feeling like my face is quite dry, so I will put on the skincare even if I'm going back to bed. It's not a burning feeling, but the dryness feeling isn't going away, and it's not just dryness of like maybe after a swim, chlorine drying out your face. If you have really dry skin, usually you'll know what I mean, but it's really different. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's a good sign that the skin barrier is healing, hopefully.
I feel like I can feel my skin barrier actually improving. and that's purely based on how my face just feels. I have no proof. I can still visibly see and feel the eyelids because they're always the last to heal, but everywhere else feels pretty normal. It is the last day of February this year, so it starts especially here and is on my eyelids, and I assume that that's because those parts just haven't healed yet. It's so strange because I can't see the burn.